Greetings, Mythics. How are we all? How is everybody? Yes, we are back once again. It is Saturday morning. It is 10 AM, there or thereabouts. My name is Ken Boyter, but you might already know that because you have been watching the Edra Tales Twitch channel. It's easy for you to say. And you know that this is Grockle Snook from Bottled Imp. How are you, Grox? You feeling a bit? He's not awake yet. Just like me, yes. But you might not have known that because you might not have been watching the Edra Tales Twitch channel. But I've just told you, so you now do know that. And if you prefer to watch on YouTube, I do transfer these across. I export them across to YouTube on the Edra Tales YouTube channel, so go check that out. Good morning, Sally. How are you? How are you? It's a lovely, beautiful day. And wasn't it weird last night? Was it Northern Lights in the UK? They were all over the place. In fact, there's a fantastic picture of where I live. Somebody put up in like a little local community Facebook group, and it looks fantastic. It was amazing. Although it wasn't in the direction. I mean, I pretty much slept through it. So good. Glad you're okay. So if you do want to comment and join in, then the way Twitch works, you do have to follow a Twitch account. So you'll have to create a Twitch account, you'll have to follow the channel, and that's not just my channel, it's any channel if you want to comment. But if you just want to watch without commenting, that's fair enough as well, not a problem. Miss the Northern Lights too, yeah, I know. It's like, you know, looking at other people's Facebook pages, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it was quite extraordinary. Also last night, we did do a live stream again of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's a really good game with some fantastic storylines, very engaging, very emotional, full of action as well, and you know, magic. It's really cool. It's a really cool game. And I think for the first time ever on Twitch, we had a raid party. Not a rave, a raid party. Good morning, Dylan. Good to see you. It says it was Rippy Riz. Just pick words that people can pronounce. Rippy Riz raided our live stream. Now, there was only 2 people watching. That was Jam and Martha. And, of course, I'm playing, so I don't really see all the comments straight away. So I look over, you know, but every now and again I look at the comments. And there's all these people going, 6 people, all sort of going, hey, it's a raid, it's a raid. And they just said hello. I was like, so I have no idea. I haven't got time to go into the minutiae of Twitch. So I was like, hello, yeah, you're welcome. I have no idea what you're doing. But basically they said, yeah, you then send your viewers over to their channel to raid it. It's like, okay. I guess it helps you get more viewers. But anyway, I didn't because I was playing the game. And also, I didn't really know how to do it. But there we go. So hopefully you've all had a lovely couple of days, a lovely week. I've had a very good week, very productive. I am gearing up for my book launch of Magic and Monkeys, which is going to be on the 18th and 19th of May, so next weekend. I've got a book festival in Hertford and Ware. And look what arrived in the post. My books. So this is just a selection. I ordered 40 copies. So this is the first edition of Magic and Monkeys. It's the first edition. And once these are sold, that's it. That's the end of the first edition. Any other printing that I do of them will say second edition. So these are going to be signed. These are going to be rare because there's only going to be, you know, one print run of these of 40. And once they're sold, they're sold. Oh, thank you very much, Dylan. That's very kind of you. Yeah. And yeah, so I might sell out over the 2 days. I might not. I might sell one. We'll see. But I'm hoping to sell quite a few copies. And if I have any copies left, then I'll be putting them on my website to sell. And also then I'm going to put them on print on demand, so I'll probably put them up on Amazon. But in the past, I've not really had too much luck with Amazon in terms of formatting and all of that rubbish. So we'll see what happens this time around. But yeah, I'll give it a go. I know that Dylan there has got, you've got about 7 books now, is it? Something like that. 6 or 7 books up on Amazon. And I know, because he texted me last night, that he has a couple that are now on the Barnes & Noble website. So you can check out Dylan's books on Amazon. If you want to leave a couple of links in there, Dylan, more than happy. Yeah. So there we go. So of Magic and Monkeys, yeah, formatting with Amazon is difficult. It is. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I guess that's the problem. They're trying to cater for everybody, and you know, there's graphic designers for a reason. 13 books now. Wow, fantastic. You know, I'm a professional graphic designer, if you like. You know, I still get paid every now and again for a job, a graphic design job. I used to be work in companies for 15 years as a graphic designer, and there's tools of the trade. You know, the printer accepted PDFs. Before that, we had to hand them actual film. You know, we had to give them 4 different coloured films. You know, the CMYK. It's technical. You know, that's just the way it goes. So not everybody can just upload a Word document and think, oh, that's it. So Amazon have tried to do that, and in doing that, then they haven't taken into account the professional graphic designers who could just go, look, this is a PDF that a professional printer will take. Just take this, it's fine. So, you know, I use a program called Quark, which isn't the latest. Most people, if you're in the industry of graphic design, use InDesign to do page layout, to typeset. I use Quark, which was the industry leader when I was, you know, hired by companies. And so I don't think they've catered for that aspect of it. So there you go. So yeah, so Of Magic and Monkeys is getting closer to being launched. Very, very excited about it. These will be signed copies, and I'm going to sign them because I thought about this the other day. I thought, oh yeah, I'm not going to sign them Ken Boyter because that's a different name on there. So I do need to practice my Loquacious McCarbre, and I do need to remember how to spell Loquacious. So they'll be signed Loquacious McCarbre, and I'll be signing them during the day. In fact, I'll ask if somebody wants a signed copy. I'll ask, and then when those don't, so yeah, because I can tailor it to them, you know, put their name in it. But the copies I don't sell, I will then sell online and put sign it Loquacious McCarbre. I might put a message in there, but not, you know, obviously I don't know who's bought it, so unless I can do that. Yeah, I think I can do. When Ken began graphic design, it was Bible Illuminations. You're not far wrong there, Dylan. You're not far wrong. Hello, Martha. You're on the phone. No worries. As I always say, real life takes precedent, as I say. You know, that's more important. So we're just talking about Of Magic and Monkeys. It's going to be released this Saturday and Sunday at a book festival, and then after that I'm going to put it online. And as I say, the books arrived. I've got 40 of these bad boys. The books did arrive, so very, very excited about that. So here they are. Very excited about that. Oh, yeah. They've put them in like an order of spines, I guess. I better keep them in that order. So there we are. So that's all very exciting. Other things that I'm going to be doing at the... Where are you sitting? Were you sitting on it, Martha? Oh, sorry. I was going to say. Besides, I have a horrible night with maybe 3 hours of sleep. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Martha. The other thing is that on the festival, at the book festival, I'm going to be giving away free samples. They're just, you know, printed out samples, not professionally published, but, you know, just printed out samples of 3 things: my game book, To Kill a Thief, my novel of the Legends of Grimace Ironbloods, that's the novel, and also book 2 of this book, The Legend of Grimace Ironblood, but the verse version, the poetry version. So, I've done the samples for Lots of Nightmares and Terrified Me at the Point of Anxiety Tech. Oh no, that's not very good. Yeah, did you see? That's a good point. Did you see the Northern Lights, Martha? So, yes, I've got free samples to give away of my other projects because I thought it'd be a good way to let people know what's coming up. So if they buy a copy of Magic and Monkeys, they might think, oh, I really enjoyed that. What else has this author done? And so it's a good way to indicate, yeah, you can sign up to know more about when the campaigns are being launched. So I don't know if you've seen it, in the Edra Tales, hello Lee Rin, or good midnight, reading my non-lethal Warhammer for the comic medieval reenactment after my cheeky chat with Dad. Sounds fantastic. Just saying, my novel of Magic and Monkeys has arrived from the printers. I've got 40 copies and they're going on sale on the 18th and 19th of May at a book festival. I'm giving away free samples. Now if you look into the Edra Tales Facebook group, I've put in there the cover reveal. I had hoped to print it out, but I didn't get time. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Jonathan. I'm just going to say, Jonathan, God, everyone keeps arriving. Yeah, my books from the printer have arrived. I've got 40 hardbacks. First edition of Magic and Monkeys, where I'll be signing copies at the book festival in Hertford and Ware this weekend, so very excited about that. Plus, I'm giving away free samples, and one of those samples is my game book, To Kill a Thief, and I've just put, thank you very much, Jonathan, thank you. I've just put into the Edra Tales Facebook group, I've just put the cover reveal to the game book, my first game book, To Kill a Thief. Now you saw a little glimpse because I had printed out like a little advert for it, and I forgot it was in the sample, and I flicked through the sample, and some of you saw that. So I decided to put it up there. I was meant to print it off and hold it up, but I've put it up in the group now. Why not? You know, just announce it. And so have a look there if you want to have a look at the cover reveal in all its full colour glory. Oh, you didn't see the Northern Lights. Yeah, it's crazy, wasn't it? It's very mystical. Yeah, so it's posted up in the Edra Tales Facebook group and on my own personal KR Boyter one as well. And it's also in a few other groups that I run. So there we go. So yes, you can have a look at that. As I said, I forgot to print it out. Hey, that wasn't very clever of me. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully, other people are excited about it. It's going to be kickstarted in October. And I think what I'm deciding to do is just do the basics. I'm just going to do a game book. And it might just be the hardback. Oh, but game books never came out as hardbacks. Shall I do that? Yeah, Jonathan does hardbacks. Yeah, I'll do a paperback version. I'll also do a hardback version. Rather, because I was thinking, do I do a deck of cards for things? But I think what I'll do is I'll develop that as a separate board game. But it'll have a game book at its heart. Because I was very excited about the House of Danger that we played. Event will begin officially in T-12 minutes. Oh, okay, fantastic. Well, enjoy. So, that is the Hertford Festival. So I've been really furiously gearing up with that. I am now going to be writing my sample for the Legends of Grimace Ironblood Book 2 in verse. It's the verse book. I've already written 30,000 words of the novel of the Grimace Ironblood. So that's going to be a sample as well for people to take away. And I do hope to launch this in the verse book next year as well. So that'll be exciting. So I've managed to dust down my new Oxford rhyming dictionary. Which, if you're writing poetry and you didn't know about this, this is a godsend. This is a really good resource. I started writing The Legends of Grimace Ironblood without it, and a friend of mine said, I was only a chapter in, and I went, that's quite difficult, isn't it, thinking up what rhymes with such and such. And they said, oh yeah, but the New Oxford Rhyming Dictionary is good, isn't it? And I went, what are you talking about? So there we go. I don't live far north and I wish I could see it. Oh, okay. Well, we had it in the UK, Martha, last night. It was bonkers. Pretty much all over the UK. Where the Ninja Turtles hardbacks. They were hardbacks. So that is very exciting. I'm very excited about the May festival coming up next weekend. And then my next thing that I have to gear up for. So this is getting... Oh, and the other thing is I'm going to be selling decks of the Mythical Creatures colour deck and the Magical Objects decks, both black and white and colour. We're going to be selling the stock that we had left from the Kickstarter. I missed the Northern Lights. Yeah, I missed them as well, Jonathan. I was asleep. Hey. Apparently they did come my way because somebody put up a photo in a little community group that I belong to on Facebook, and I saw it there and went, oh, yeah, that's interesting. So there we go. So next weekend is going to be good. Hopefully I'll sell a lot of copies of both my books and my Story Spark cards. So the next thing after that then is UK Games Expo, where I announced last weekend I'm going to be demoing a copy of Kedrick Winks and Ken Boyter, yes, that's me, our game called The Crooked Crown. It is being published. It's being published by Cheatwell Games and Outset Games. So there's their logos. And it's a good, fun little party, not party game. It's a little card game, but it's, you know, it's like a party. To battle. With your permission, I will share highlight photos on the Edra page. Yes, please. Good luck, Liren. Enjoy. Enjoy. Thanks for popping in. That's even mock magic missile safe fireballs for the mages in the forum, in the form of foam balls for G-rate literal spell throwing. Fantastic. Sounds like you're going to have a great fun. Bit of LARPing on a Saturday morning or evening where you are, I think. Good luck. Enjoy. So yeah, The Crooked Crown is the game that Kedrick and I have designed and developed, and it is being launched at the UK Games Expo, which I believe is the first... No, sorry. It is the 31st of May, the 1st and 2nd of June. I'll just go through very quickly, show you some of the components. There's the board. That keeps track of how many cards you can have in your hand at one time. So if your little figure, we've got little figures as well. Each of you takes a little figure under the beautiful golden Michael Bay movie sunset. Fantastic. Each player plays a goblin. We've got 6 goblins. There's 4 of them. And the king has died. The king of the goblins has died. Whoever has the crown, whoever finds and steals the crown, becomes the new goblin ruler. Naturally, they're goblins. That's how it works. And whatever number your figure is on is how many cards you can have in your hand at that time. And that fluctuates. It goes up and it goes down during the game. There are various other cards. So as I say, everybody, there's only one card, the Crooked Crown, that's going to be in play at any game. And everybody's trying to get that card by the end of the round. End of 8 rounds, I should say. And then you've got various other cards that will help you try and get that crown. We've got the ambush card. We've got the steal card. We've got the spy card. These are brilliant illustrations by an Italian artist called Alberto. Then we've got the Tasty Pie card. And the last card, oh, where is it? Where did it go? It was in disguise. We've got the Wild card. As a goblin disguised as a dinosaur, like you do. So we've got the disguise card, which is a wild card. That can be any of the other cards and take on any of those other special effects. So basically, you play it over 8 rounds. You do one thing on your turn, which is to lay one type of card. You can lay one of that type or multiples of that type to increase its power. And that's the game, basically. It's a lot of fun because it's a game of bluff. You know, I might initially be dealt the cards, and I might have the card from round 1. So I'm thinking, right, I've got to make sure that I keep hold of this card for 8 rounds. Or if I lose the card, because somebody finds out that I've got it and they steal it, I need to try and keep track of where it is and then try and steal it back again. And it's a really fun, sort of tense game that is just brilliant. It's just really a lot of fun. And every game is obviously different. And it's just full of tension, because if you think, yeah, especially if you get the Crooked Crown right at the beginning, as I say. However, at any point, if you get the Crooked Crown, you're still thinking, right, I've got 3 rounds to survive, or I've got 2 rounds to survive. So it's a great game. It's very simple to learn, very easy to play, but it has got a bit of a tactical side to it as well, so that's fun. And of course, we've got a little Crooked Crown wooden piece that keeps note of the rounds. So these are the rounds. So when everybody's had it go, that's in round 1. You go round 2. So there we are. So very pleased by that. Very happy that it's coming out at last. I've had to keep that news under wraps for basically about 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years. But they've done a really good job on production. So it was worth developing it properly, getting the artwork right. I mean, look, they've put a little spot of UV on the box, on the figures, to make it look cool. Look, can you see it shiny in places, not shiny in other places? There you go, and on the Crooked Crown. Really lovely design. Now, I think they're going to be selling this for £15. It might be £20, but I think they're going for a price point of £15, which I think is excellent value. It's excellent value. So hopefully they'll have the full... They're ordering 5,000 stock. So there's going to be 5,000 units. The majority of that is going to be sold in America and Canada, because Outset publishers, they're the American... Well, they're the Canadian, but they have America as their market. So there'll be 400 in the UK and the rest of the world, or Europe. So we're hoping that the shipment arrives. It's getting close. The 21st of May is when we're expecting the shipment. However, they are getting 24 copies flown in. So there will be stock at the UK Games. It might be a load of stock, or it might be just 24 copies. I'm hoping the big stock arrives, because then they can hopefully sell, 100 copies, 200 copies, whatever, over the 3 days. But I'm going to be there demoing it. So I'm going to be there demoing it. Are there any YouTube reviewers you could send a copy to in advance of being published? Yeah, that's a very good point. It's taken a lot of effort, obviously, with Kedrick and I to develop it over the last couple of years. We haven't thought about that. It's not necessarily our job to think about that. However, yes, it will. I will be suggesting that to the publisher, to say, look, can we get it out to some reviewers like the Dice Tower? And it actually, UK Games would be a good place to network and to go around and find some YouTubers and say, look, do you want a free copy? Review the game, be as honest as you like, and then get word out there, because that's how it works. So there we go. Other games that I'm going to be demoing. So I'm going to be demoing the Crooked Crown. However, Outset and Cheatwell have got other games that are coming out or have already come out. So Ghost Hunter there's a series of these. They're little card games, and they are designed by Kedrick Winks. So I better learn how to play this one. Yeah, I have played it, and I've actually reviewed this. And it's good. It's a lot of fun. It's good fun. So these are coming out. They're called Ghost Hunter, and then there's different types of creatures that you fight. So monsters, spirits, and there's another one. We've got vampires as well. So I'm going to be demoing that one. The other one I'm going to be demoing is another one of Kedrick's, Cadaver, which is good fun. That's a set collecting game where you're basically resurrecting corpses. It says the light-hearted game of raising the dead. Love that tagline. Then we have Another one of Kedrick's. Yes, he is actually getting published quite a lot by this publisher. Psychobabble is a social deduction game of dreams, paranoia and insanity. So there you go, Psychobabble. And this is a fun party game where you basically have to determine who's insane and who isn't by a series. It's like Codenames or Mysterium, where you're looking at imageries and you're trying to decipher which cards that they're talking about. It's that kind of game. Social deduction. Then we've got a game not by Kedrick, Skullduggery. Skullduggery. This game is, does it say who it's designed by? It's Ellie Dix. This is by Ellie Dix. Skullduggery. This is a fun little game, little card game, where you are trying to get the biggest 4-number sequence. It's treasure. You're pirates. You're trying to get treasure, and you're trying to get the biggest number on 4 cards. So you've got 0 to 9 cards, 0 to 9 numbers, and basically, when you have them face down in front of you, you want the 9 to be at the front because that makes the biggest total number, if you like. So at the end of the game, when you flip them all over, each one has a number on it. Can you see? Yeah. And you want the 9 to be at the beginning, because when you flip them over, it'd be, oh, I got 9,322. Somebody might have a 5 at the beginning, so it says 5,228. Yeah. And what happens during the game, though, is you move your cards around. You can move other cards around. You can peek at cards because they're all face down. You turn cards over so you know the middle 2 cards. So throughout the game, you get clues of what numbers are in which position in your hand. And so there's a bit of strategy in terms of you manipulating your cards to get your 9 to the front. Or you can monkey with other people's cards as well to manipulate their cards to a lower score. So that's a lot of fun. Again, very sort of simple game to learn. Some of it you have to get your head around a little bit, but once you do, it is very easy, very quick to learn. And that's a good fun game. Skullduggery, again, it's like a 20-minute game. What if they put age 8+? Yeah. So again, it's like a family game. But if you're a hobby gamist, you would. This is a filler game. You play this one, maybe the Crooked Crown, before you started, say, a bigger game, a more meatier game, if that is your bent. Also, we got this one, Rainbow, again by Outset and Cheatwell. This is a fun game. It's a 2-player game, and it's quite fun. What they've done is you have a deck of cards, but you put it back in the box, so you stand them upright, and you have to, and as you can see, this is brand new, it's not even been unsheathed yet, and you're basically trying to get matches, if I can remember correctly. You're trying to get matches of either 3 or 4, I can't remember, and they're different colours. It's a rainbow, and you're just trying to get sets, so it's a set collecting game. But again, it uses the mechanic of both sides of the cards, but you can't see the back of your cards. You're not allowed to see the back of your cards. However, you play the back of the cards. I think that, I've played it once or twice, if that's what I can remember. But I'm going to be demoing it, so I better know the rules properly. Yawning so much. Hello, Grocklesnook. Thank you, Martha. I have that effect on most people. Yeah. Hello, Grocklesnook. Yes, oh look, he's falling asleep as well. Must be me. And so yeah, this is a great little set collect. It's a good little fun game. Again, it's lightweight. It's fun. It doesn't last for too long. 20 minutes at the most. What have they put? Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a quick game. So again, it's like another little fun little card game for families. Yeah, so that's cool. And then the last one we have is, it is Ken, yeah, it is me, is this one, Zensu, I think that's how you pronounce it, Zensu. And Zensu the game, it's easy to learn, hard to master, that old classic phrase. It's not your fault, Ken, I had less sleep than normal. I know, I'm only teasing, Martha, but thank you. And it's getting out of hand, so I'll call my doctor on Monday. Oh, that's not very good. Well, it's good that you're seeking help about it. So yeah, so this is a great little 2-player game. I really did enjoy that. And it's kind of like checkers. You know how to play checkers or drafts. So it's very simple. You've got a board, you've got a gridded board. That's the red zone. That's the blue zone, as you can see, red and blue. And then you've got these. Both players, again, it's just a 2-player game. Both players have exactly the same number of pieces and exactly the same pieces. One's blue, one's red. You've got, and as I say, it's like chess. These pieces move how many spaces in which direction. So there's no diagonal moves, and there's but you can jump over your own and the opponent's one. You can't land on your own one, but if you land or you jump over, you can take their piece. So it's pretty cool. So as you can see, that moves 1 up, whereas that moves 4 to the left, or in this case to the right, but depending on how you're looking at it. And that can move 2 to the... You see what I mean? So you've got all these arrows that tell you how the piece moves. So it's really good because you don't actually have to remember. Unlike chess, we have to remember, although it's very easy to remember. But it was good. Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, Sally and I have played it a couple of times, and it is very good. We did play it slightly wrong. I misread it initially. I didn't have any of the pieces on that row, which you are meant to have. So you line them up, you put all your 2s on there and all the 1s on there, and then you're basically, the aim of the game is to get one of your pieces into the opposite zone. So it can be any of your pieces need to get into the opposite zone here, and then you win the game. Or you can take all the other pieces, you can capture all the other pieces from the other player. However, they do say that's quite rare. So there we go. So yeah, it's a good little game, that. So that is what I'll be demoing at UK Games. I'm hoping that I'll be going along to the speed dating with the publishers, because I've entered Titanic, Heist on the High Seas. This is our prototype version. Me and Kedrick, it's a game that we've designed together again, and basically we're hoping to get into the pitch evening where designers get 5 minutes with however many publishers to pitch their games. But you do have to get voted in. You can't just submit and then turn up. One publisher at least has to want to see the game. So I'm hoping that we get picked. There's also Guildlands as well, which is Rise of the City, which is our tile laying game. So yeah, we've designed that together. Hopefully, again, that will get seen, and then we'll get published. That's the aim of the game there. Plus, I've got my own game called Those People, which is an everyday game of gripes. What do I call it? Everyday game of gripes. Oh, I've forgotten now. I'll have to remember that tagline. But it's basically like Cards Against Humanity, but it's Those People. It's basically a good way to ranting, letting off steam about everyday things that annoy you. So those are the ones that I'm hopefully going to be pitching to publishers. Plus, I've got my murder mystery game as well that I do want to get the prototype done in time for, because even though I've not submitted it, because I didn't know if I'd get the prototype finished or not, things can happen. You can just be... This is a good thing about it. You can network at these events. And because I'm going to be on, I'll be demoing this game, then, presumably there's other publishers that I might be able to talk to, and then and even this publisher, Outset, Cheatwell, they're going to be interested in it. So we'll see what happens. It's all exciting times. I do feel like, and this, if you're creative, I know I have lots of creative people watching: Martha, Jam, Dylan, Jonathan. I do feel like I've put in a lot of hard work over the last 4 or 5 years, with not a lot to show for it, with not, you know, big sales or, you know, life-changing amounts of money, so I can concentrate more on my creative projects and my mediumship and all of that. However, I feel like things are moving on quite quickly now. It's great. I mean, the Crooked Crown is just a brilliant thing. It's just one of those things where you think, wow, it has finally happened. All that hard work has paid off. And also the book. You know, it's great that I'm getting the book out there. And I'm moving on now. I feel like I'm actually focusing on the work. Because everybody can have a lot of plans, but you've got to actually just sit down and do the writing or do the board game designing. So, you know, there's that as well. Plus, we've got the Devilish Dilemmas stage show that I don't know if I talked to you about it. We all wish Ken. Oh, we all wish Ken. You'll just wish for me. You have done so, and calm down, Ken. Good things come to your way. Yeah, no, exactly. No, I'm fine, Martha, but thank you for your sort of little words of wisdom there. But yeah, at times, you know, in the last 5 years, you go, oh, I just want it to happen. I want it to happen. But you're right. You do have to wait, and it happens at the right time when it's meant to. And you do still have to just keep ploughing on. You know, once I put this up onto Amazon, yes, I'll be promoting it, but that's gone. That's me moving on to the next novel, which will be the Grimace Ironblood novel and the game book. You know, so you move on to the next one. And what I'm trying to do is not be working on too many projects at the same time. So what I know Jonathan's laughing there if he's still watching. But what I want to do is I want to get my game book launched this year, a Kickstarter it this year in October. Hopefully that funds, get that all sorted by the end of the year. And then 2025, I want to do another novel, so The Legends of Grimace Ironblood, and then another game book. So I might launch a book in May for the festival, the Hearts Book Festival, a novel, and then a game book, I kickstart that in October. Do you see what I mean? And then I get into a rhythm, I get into a routine. So that's pretty cool, because that's 2 books a year. Why is my name colour pink? Oh, it's not here. Twitch is messing with I can't stand pink. For me, Martha, it's orange. It's a nice sort of orangey gold, actually. So it's a nice colour you've got for me when I'm seeing it. A future game. Guess what Ken is hiding under under his floating syrup. That's right. It's more syrup. Or it's just my head, Dylan. It's not a wig. It's not a wig. Or is it? Have I been tricking you all these years? Apparently Sean Connery wore a wig when he was doing James Bond. I didn't know that until the last couple of years. No, I must have known that, but not for ages when I got into Bond. And also he had tattoos. He had some tattoos on his arm that they had to make up out as well. So there you go, the magic of cinema. So it is all finally coming together. And the aim is that you can earn enough money from your creative projects that you then can, be full-time creative. That's the aim of the game. Now, I've got 2 plans on that. That is so much better. And who about the game Grocklesnook's Tricks? Oh, I don't fully understand that. Oh, and how? That is much better. And how about a game Grocklesnook Tricks? Yeah, what, a game of Grocklesnook? Yeah, maybe. Well, I've written a few kids' books, like picture books, for Grocklesnook. So, I did want to use Grocklesnook a bit more. Yes, he had a Scotland Forever tattoo. Yeah, is that what it was? Scotland for tattoo. Yeah, there you go. Nice one, Dylan. Yeah, Grocklesnook. Yeah, he might. I've got to be careful with Grocklesnook because of Julian and the Bottled Imp. I've got to kind of get his permission to use Grocklesnook because we created the Bottled Imp together, so I have to kind of make sure that Julian's on board with any projects that I use Grocklesnook in. But that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, Julian's a mate of mine. In fact, I do need to have a catch up with him soon. Or Kin's Mystery Library, that has a nice ring to it. or Kin's Mystery Library. Oh, Kin's Mystery Library. Yeah, a game about books. It could be onto something there. Kin's Mystery Library. Yeah. The thing is, though, Martha, we know that ideas can come to you all the time. I've now got a folder of game ideas that I just put in because it's like I want to develop that, but I've got to finish what I'm doing over here. So I guess the realistic way of becoming full-time creative, and you know, or I should say full-time self-employed. Let me just have a cup of tea. Is that I promote the mediumship more. That's the more realistic one. I did do a Mind, Body, Soul craft fair on Sunday the 5th of, last Sunday basically of May. And again, I was just flat out non-stop busy. I saw, I think it was 7 people, maybe 8 people. I think it was 7 people. And yeah, it was just one after the other, after the other, after the other. So I want to do more of those craft fairs. So I do have to find more companies that put them on. And also I don't want to travel too far, because obviously the more you travel, the more petrol you're spending, which means the more clients you have to see, and it eats into your profit. So it has to be economical for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Plus it gets my business card out there, it gets my face known. And so again, it's just building up things slowly. So that's the plan. So if I can do one Sunday a week doing craft fairs, then that helps me to, reduce my other part-time job that, I'm not really invested in. I like the people that are there, but in terms of the work, it's not brilliant. I don't enjoy it too much. It's okay. I do sort of enjoy it, but it's not what I want to do. And there's a difference. Don't get me wrong, it's a good place to work. I love working there, but and the people, as I say, the people are great, but the nature of the job isn't for me really. Where you help him collect rare and valuable books for his boss. Can't remember the name. Sorry. Well, his boss is actually Grimace Ironblood. Yeah, that's revealed in here, isn't it? I hadn't created the character of Kin in the Grimace Ironblood book, but in this book, the sort of spin-off book with just the monkeys, I created the Inkpot Monkey. Well, I got inspired by the Inkpot Monkey Story Spark cards and thought, oh, I want an Inkpot Monkey in there. So yeah, he actually works for Grimace. He's a scribe for Grimace. He kind of keeps a records and accounts and that kind of thing. He's like his admin. So yeah, that's a good idea. Absolutely, Martha. So the more realistic way of me going full-time self-employed is to promote the mediumship, which is what I'll be doing after the UK Games Expo, because I'll have more time. I won't have as many creative projects on the go that need attention. So June, July, August, I'll be concentrating on the mediumship. I will still be doing some of my creative projects, obviously, but it just won't be as intense. And also, the games are probably the more realistic way that I can earn money through royalties. And then the books are probably lower down, because unless you get published into a big publishing house that has marketing behind you and your book, it's very difficult. Dylan and I were talking about this, to promote your own books, to try and grow an audience. That takes time. So that's kind of the plan, as I'm sure you already know. He's a slave like Rich and Sally. Off again. You're absolutely right, Dylan. You're absolutely right. Now, where's my breakfast? Second breakfast. Nice cup of tea. Well, I just want to address that a little bit. Rich actually was too busy to do the illustrations for my game book, because I thought it'd be nice if Richard could do Rich could do my game book illustrations. However, he was too busy, so I'm doing them myself. So I did the cover on and off over a period of about 3 weeks. It took me, yeah, I did it all in not Illustrator, in Photoshop. Did it all in Photoshop, and it's basically just building up, you know, layer upon layer, the contrast, the dark and the light, and basically, yeah, it just took a while. It took, you know, because you got different size brushes, you got different textures, and I wanted to make it relatively realistic, but I wanted to have a little style. I want you to see that it's an illustration. A future game, help Rich and Sally escape from Ken's dungeon. Escape from the escape the dark castle. Escape the dark Ken's dungeon. No, escape Loquacious's dungeon. No, it doesn't work. Escape the dungeon. I'm stuck in the dungeon, Dylan, if anybody's stuck. Yeah, so the good thing about the game book, though, is that the inside art is not full colour. So it won't take me 3 weeks to do one illustration. So I'm hoping, you know, like a Fighting Fantasy book, to have 20 illustrations. But the way I'm going to do them is I like the woodcut sort of effect. So I'm going to get some lino and I'm going to chip it out with special tools and do printing. I'm going to print them, ink printing. I have facilities that I can use where I can do prints of my images and get that nice inky sort of texture for it. So I'm really excited about that. So that is one of the things I will be doing after the UK Games Expo. I'm going to be just finishing writing the book and then doing the illustrations, getting it all ready hopefully for October, so that when we launch, it's all done, and all I have to do is, if we fund, hopefully touch wood, when we fund, I just press, you know, upload to the printer, and then we get the books done. They're ready in time for Christmas. But, you know, who knows, it might not be. So there we go. So thank you all for watching. That is everything, really, that I wanted to talk to you about. I know we got through quite a lot there, so thank you for bearing with me. Really, really appreciate it. And we are still playing Lone Wolf, The Kingdoms of Terror by Joe Diva. It is book 1 of the Magna Chi series, which is book 6 of the overall Lone Wolf series. Really enjoying it. We've done 5 parts already. Join us this Wednesday at 6:30 UK time for part 6. And I feel we're relatively close to finishing it. Normally, through experience, you know, how many game books have I done online? I must have done at least 10 game books online now. They tend to last 5 or 6 episodes. I don't know what it is. They tend to last 5 or 6 episodes. Occasionally, I think we've done one that lasted 7. Or we've been just very unlucky and we've died. So it's like, oh well. But I like to play them for at least 4 weeks. You know, 4 episodes of an hour and a half each. That's a good crack at a game book. Even if we died or we didn't finish the quest, you know, I think that's fair enough. So we probably will finish it. I'm pretty sure we might finish it. If not, we're very, very close. So there we go. So it's good fun. Good bit of Joe Diva with Gary Chalk illustrations. Let me see if... Oh yeah, we've seen that illustration. Very distinctive, aren't they? Very Talisman. Obviously, he did all the artwork for Talisman. And I did do an interview with him. Very proud that he was born in Hertfordshire. He's a Shire lad. So thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it for watching. Hopefully you'll have a lovely, lovely weekend. It's very sunny in the UK. And yeah, look out for more things in Edra Tales Facebook group. More notices, more announcements. Basically, forgive me, but I am going to be starting to, you know, plug off Magic and Monkeys in the next couple of weeks. I think I'll sneak off and try and sleep a little. Yes, absolutely, Martha. Get some sleep while you can. Absolutely. I'll start, you know, advertising the Crooked Crown as well in the next couple of weeks. So you will see a lot of the Crooked Crown, and you will see a lot of Magic and Monkeys. I can't help it. So there you go. So bear with us while we get through that. Okay, but you came from the Shire, Ken. Yeah, I come from the Shire, exactly. But you come from the Shire. Fantastic. So thank you for watching, Martha. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Lirin, who popped in and he was off to do a bit of LARPing. And thank you to anybody else that watched, even if you didn't comment, absolutely fine. Or if you're watching this on playback, you know, not live, enjoy. I do keep them on the Edra Tales Twitch channel, plus I do transfer them, export them, drop them onto the Edra Tales YouTube channel as well. So if you prefer to watch it on YouTube, you can go over and watch it there as well. Thank you, Sally. Did I forget Sally? Oops. Thank you, Sally, for watching as well, obviously. You guys are amazing. Much love. And remember, may the magic of stories flow through you always.